Good morning, and we are continuing our 40-day journey. And today we're in Luke chapter 7, and we're going through to the end of Luke chapter 9. So, there's just one main thing that I really wanted to focus on, which is kind of like a summary of all these chapters. So, in these chapters, we read that Jesus raises people from the dead. He's healing people. Jesus is calming the storm. He's feeding the 5,000. He performs miracles, and he's telling parables. There's so many things that happen in these few chapters. And I think one thing that's really stood out to me is how is Jesus's power. And I think sometimes we're like, oh yeah, we know God's great and things, but when we're in a situation where we ourselves are struggling and in a hard time, I think it's so easy to kind of put that in like the back of our mind, and we kind of forget that. And it's like, oh, we might think it, but we don't really truly wholeheartedly believe it. But God is great. He has performed all these amazing miracles. He was able to feed over 5,000 people with five loaves of bread and 2 loaves of fish. He was able to calm a storm. He was able to raise people from the dead. These are things that we would never be able to do. And I think we need to trust in God completely when we're going through times that are hard. And a verse that you'll probably be thinking of now is Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." And I think sometimes we need to really depend on that and depend on God, because he wants us to completely trust in him. And sometimes we kind of go through phases where we're like, oh yeah, we'll trust in him now, and oh, we'll do it then, but all the time we have to trust in him. And we go through hard times, and we hear it all the time. We're in lockdown, there's things going on in our lives that we'd rather be doing other things, and it's so hard in this time. But we need to trust in God, because he was able to do these things that we could never even dream of doing. We have a mighty God, and so powerful that he can do anything that he wants to, which means he can do anything in your life too. So if we depend on him completely, he will make our path straight, because he has a plan for each and every one of us. And Jesus did it then, and he can do that now. So I think the main thing that I want you to do is, it's so hard sometimes. It feels like COVID has just gone on forever and ever and ever. And I think we just need to kind of take it back and go, no, God is in control, and we can depend on him completely. And I think sometimes it can be so easy to forget that we can just, how amazing and powerful God is. And I think that's just something that I want you, encourage you to do, is as you read through this, just to kind of be in awe of how much he loves each and every one of you, and how much he cares for each and every one of you, and how amazing and just overall how powerful he is. Because I think sometimes we forget how like mighty he is and how much he can do, because sometimes we put him in a box and it's like, oh yeah, he can do this, he can do that, but actually he can do things. He can raise people from the dead, and he can calm a storm, like amazing things. So I think that's just something that I want to encourage you with today, is just remember how amazing God is, and that you can depend on him completely, even through the hard times. So that's my challenge.